Hi, my name is Heath. I'm the Director of Admissions here at Plugged In Recovery. I've worked in this field for over 8 years. Really love the opportunity to come and be a part of something as great as Plugged In Recovery. Really change the landscape of the culture and treatment. Get to know the patients on a one-on-one basis a lot more here, which is really cool.
And why don't you just tell us a little bit about your experience before you came here?
Sure. So I've worked in the field, like I said, for 8 years. Started off as just a tech, worked my way up into the program manager's position. I was a director of operations at one point. Got into admissions, really loved admissions. I got to meet people over the phone right away when they were really in that really dark time. So now that I'm here at Plugged In and the director of admissions role, it's really exciting to kind of spawn that and make that grow more and more using the admissions process.
And what kind of philosophies do you bring into your new director role that you hope to kind of instill here at Plugged In?
Yeah, so in the director role, it's really important for me to make people feel like they matter, right? It's too much in this industry. People have to move on to feel appreciated. Here in Plugged In, we want to make sure that we build our team up from the ground, right? Give people opportunities to really work hard and advance, right? We want to make sure people feel appreciated and don't feel like they have to leave in order to get that love and appreciation from the company.
And to touch just a little bit on the admission side, why don't you explain just like the different insurance things, or like what's the typical length of stay at the program, or just give us a little overview of the Plugged In's program.
Okay, so in the beginning process, right, when they start to really struggle and they make that call, first thing we want to do is really get to know the person, right? We want to make sure that they're a good fit for us as well as we are for them. We don't want to just bring anybody in just to make money. That's not our goal here, right? We want to help people. In order to do that, you really have to get to know them in that first phone call, right? So when someone calls in, we really dive into what they need. Do they need primary mental health? Well, that's not really what we do. Is this substance abuse with mental health? That's definitely something we can help with, right? So we want to really work and get to know them on that first call. That way when they do come in, we are the best suited to help them. So once they get here, right, they'll do an intake with our amazing tech staff, and they'll get to start to know them in person. So they'll come in, they'll do all the consents, get them all set up, and then they get to get a tour, kind of feel more at home, right? Great thing about us is we're a home. It's not really a facility. So our patients really get that at-home family kind of care with us, right? First day is really going to be a lot of just kind of feeling comfortable. And then we start to work with our patients on getting accountability back in their life, getting their family back in their life, getting their addiction under control, right? So this is the great thing about us, man, is we have a lot of individual patient care. 10-bed facility, not going to get lost in the milieu, not going to get, left behind, right? So when people come here, it's really an amazing thing to watch them really get the care that I think is really lacking in today's treatment, right? We get to provide that. It's something that we really love to do. The people that work here, they don't work here because they want to get rich. We work here because we want to help people.
Awesome. And what has your experience been working at a boutique center versus maybe a larger commercial facility?
So I think the individual care is amazing in this type of setting, right? 10 beds versus 35 to 70, sometimes in the hundreds. It's really hard to get that individualized care, right? I've worked in this field a long time, and it's not very uncommon for someone to come in, get an assessment done, see your therapist maybe once or twice, and then do your discharge and be out the door, right? How much can you really get done in that time span? By the time I get to know you, we're done. So here, the great part about us is you'll get 6 actual sessions with us, right? And that's not including your intake and your discharge. So you'll get a lot of care here. And then the groups, with the small number of groups, it's really hard to hide, right? So if a patient is having one of those days where they just want to isolate themselves, they're not going to be able to do it with us. And that's really a cool thing.
Awesome, man. And being a director of admissions, you're obviously the first point of contact for somebody who wants to come to the center, but it's more than just that. You don't just get them in and you don't see them ever again.
Right.
Can you just touch on your involvement throughout that entire process into aftercare?
Yeah, so it's actually really cool, right? So most time when you're working in admissions, you're working like a call center and you never actually get to see the person face to face, right? With here, I'm in the building, so we do a handoff. So I'll be here to meet our patients when they arrive. If I've done their admission and I've done their assessment and we start to build that rapport, I'll be the one to answer the door and say, hey, finally get to meet you face to face and really get that connection. And then I get to introduce them to the rest of the staff. So it's not like you show up at the door and now you're meeting someone completely different, completely new. So that's something that's really a benefit for how we do business around here. And it makes people feel more at home. And again, that's our goal. Our goal is to build a family, right? We want to build that plugged-in family, so no matter what happens or how far you go or how great your life gets, you can always come home, right? To visit, to interact, right? Our alumni program that we're getting started again, like that's going to be a great thing, right? We want to make sure people have fun, and to be able to have fun, you have to trust, right? Our goal is to build trust with our patients.
Awesome, man. And what are you most excited or what are you most looking forward to in this upcoming time?
Man, so much. I'm excited to see what plugged in at the residential level can really do. I think we're going to kill the game. I think we're going to grow and grow and grow, but still keep that at-home feeling, right? I'm excited to watch our patients come in and change their lives. Not just come in, take up a bed, and then go back out and then come back, right? We don't want repeat customers here, right? We want to make sure they come, they get what they need, and then they come back to visit, not to admit. So I think that's a lot of what I'm really, really excited about. And just, to me, the individual care, right? I went to treatment. I got lucky enough to go to a place where it was a 15-bed facility. So I know what it's like to come in and build a family, right? The people I'm closest to today, a lot of them I met in treatment. They're my friends. They called me out when I wasn't doing the right thing, right? They know me well enough to know when I'm lying or know when I'm struggling when I say I'm not. So that's something that's really cool that I'm excited to really see at this type of level.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Heath.
All right.
Yeah.